You scared of the coronavirus, bro?
A bitch is scared. I'm a little scared, you know what I'm saying? Like,
We came in here fucking around for like 2 weeks straight. It's real now.
guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
Everybody's stir crazy and weirded out by this, including me.
Yeah.
I don't dap up everybody.
I'm straight Michelle Obama Barack fist pumps right now.
Yeah, you going?
Coronavirus. Take it easy, just relax. Relax. You're doing great. It all will pass. Let me just tell you something. That's really bad reporting. You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
I just want one pack.
Hello, boys. Find everything you need?
Yep, all set.
Okay, let's see here. Toilet paper?
Toilet paper? Toilet paper. Toilet paper? Toilet paper?
What the fuck is up with COVID-19?
What up? It's your boy Bugzy Lavoe. Thank you guys for tuning in to What the Fuck is Up with COVID-19, the only show where we make sure you guys are safe, sound, and sanitized. And here we have friends of mine. They go by the Cocos Locos. They what do you guys classify yourselves as? Like freelance videographers, freelance content creators, or like?
So we've kind of like messed around with this name a lot. We actually say that we own a digital creative agency.
Okay, that's good. That's actually a lot better. So first things first, how are you guys holding up in these times?
Yeah, so at the beginning of it, we're gonna be completely honest. We were actually like really, we were just kind of like nervous. I guess I feel like everybody kind of had like that first initial reaction. Most of my jobs come from filming and shooting like live events, like conferences, concerts, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what happened was like our whole like main source of like income was just like gone. So we're like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, basically all of March was canceled, and then April was canceled, and now, I mean, May is definitely probably going to be canceled too, because now people are trying to just get their lives back together, if they can even get their lives back together in May. So that second week of March, when everything kind of was officially closed down, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah. So what did you guys do? Because, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Black with No Cream podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm part of the Facebook group, and
Same.
Yeah, I actually was gonna send you guys a link. So I was like, yo, this would be dope for them to tune into. But I'm glad to hear you guys are part of it also. But I mean, yeah. So I'm sure you guys know a lot of freelance, not even freelance, a lot of just people in the content industry kind of like were kind of scrambling, honestly. Like I just remember seeing the post and everyone's like, yo, I just moved. Like me personally, I just moved. Like I moved to New York. And then,
oh, you did?
I did. Yeah, and then like a few weeks later, everything went to shit. And I was like, fuck, like I got to figure out, do I stay? Do I leave? Like, what do I do? And a lot of people were in the same boat. A lot of people just bought equipment. They just, they had like, I'm part of also a wedding group, a wedding videographer group on Facebook, and them too. Like a lot of their gigs were canceled.
Yep.
And it's like, it kind of, and I kind of was already thinking about this before, but now this definitely kind of showed me the importance of, even as a videographer or even as a content creator, the importance of residual income,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, has that been a thought of you guys also?
Definitely. Yeah.
100%.
So we have this like live stream that we do now every Thursday called Coco with the Cocos.
Yeah.
And we sip on hot chocolate and we talk about stuff. And last week we actually talked about residual income and our plans to move forward and like actually creating some residual income in our lives. So right now we're in the process of creating like a whole bunch of like digital products for people to purchase.
Right.
We already have like 3 up on our website that we really like. And we've already seen like some people start to purchase them, which is wild because I mean, they take a lot of time to set up and make sure that they work and function and like all the back end of the store is fun to learn. But now that they're set up, people can just purchase them and they immediately get sent those packages, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, like everything's automatic. So like the whole reasoning behind that was we were just like, so we're in we were like in the zone of like, all right, what do we do? And what we do whenever we're in that zone is we take a step back and we're like, all right, what are people still doing during this time? And then what we saw was people are on social media even more now. People are even creating, like, they're still creating content. So although like the content creators, aka the videographers, photographers, kind of got like screwed over a little bit, people are still creating content. So we're like, all right, how can we help the people that are making content for their content?
Right.
And we can give them like assets that they can include in their graphics, videos, photos. Then we're actually helping them speed up their process too. So we're like, all right, so that's like, we just saw that, we just went with it. And like, we're still like kind of like in the process of like breaking it up and seeing like the benefits and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's sorry to cut you off, but no, that's definitely something that I've been thinking about also, even before, because I've always wondered what was the end goal or the end result of a videographer. Is like, do I want to be 85 lugging a camera around forever?
Exactly.
It's like, no, right? So it's like, I've always thought about what would be the next step, and something that I was toying with the idea of was teaching classes, you know? And that's something that I thought about now also, because like you guys said, a lot of people are creating content now. I get people that hit me up all the time. They're like, hey man, like, could we meet up? Like, can you show me this, how you did that? And I'm just like, man, it would be very ideal now for like a virtual class of some sorts. And it already exists, you know, Skillshare, Udemy, you know, a lot of subscription-based services. So, you know, is that something, do you guys also think about going to that route?
Definitely in the future. We're kind of doing it a little bit right now as far as like tutorial wise. So we never really took the time to record ourselves teaching people like what we do. But we kind of did it a little bit just because these packs were like, all right, well, if we do a tutorial explaining how, kind of like the GIFs, like how to make GIFs, because that was like a number one question that we would get a lot. So like, how about we just make a video explaining like how to do all this? So we definitely see the interest in it, because people just want to see not necessarily what you're teaching, but they want to just kind of see like your thought process in a way. Right. Because there's like a lot of photographers, a lot of videographers, but what people are most interested in seeing like how you specifically break things down.
Right. Yeah. Like, we definitely don't claim to ever be like the best photographers or the best videographers or the best graphic designers, but it just, I guess, in the way that we present things, people enjoy it, which is cool. So we definitely get asked those questions too, like, how did you do this one thing? Or how do we do this? How do I turn on my camera? If they're completely new to photography or videography. So I think you should definitely jump on that for sure.
Yeah. So something else that I wanted to touch with you guys is, and this is kind of something I've been talking to a lot of my freelance friends, like not even just into video, just like I got a friend who's a DJ. I got a friend who's, you know, he does like independent consulting. I got a friend that he owns his own private practice. And it's like, you know, I think something that we don't really think about until, for lack of better terms, until shit gets real, is like health insurance, right? So as someone who's in the freelance business, how do you approach that, right? Because right away, when this thing started ramping up, I was like, yo, like I gotta be extra careful now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, is that something you guys have thought of also?
Honestly, probably not enough. We currently don't have health insurance, but luckily I've been blessed to have people who are in the medical field. So like, my mom works for like a surgeon's office. She's always worked for primary care doctors. So if we ever really did get like really sick, we would have someone who we could go talk to, or who could help or supply us with some kind of information. So I honestly really haven't thought about it too much. And the fact that I've always had health insurance before doing this, I feel like I kind of took for granted a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I could just go see a doctor whenever. But we've just been extra cautious when going out. I know that's just not a great answer, but we've just honestly have just been focusing more on the good instead of the bad. So not worrying too much about what if we get sick, just trying to just stay healthy and focus on not getting sick and just keep going forward. Yeah.
And I think, you know, my reason for bringing it up was not to just like, you know, for the sake of bringing it up, but I think it is important for like freelancers to definitely think about that. You know, I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about enough.
Definitely.
As like before, how we were talking about like what is the next step or the end result. I feel like that's something that also doesn't get talked about enough, and I think it's definitely important. But to switch gears on like a more positive note, something that I definitely have been noticing that I do like a lot is I think now companies are realizing that production quality doesn't necessarily equal content quality. And what I mean is, like, I was watching ESPN the other day, and they were doing interviews on Zoom, and they just had like a template layout, and that was it. So I think now, and this might be bad too, I don't know, good or bad, it's just like pros and cons, but now it's like they don't need 50 people to put together like a cool TV show. They could just hire like a young creative who knows what he's doing, who has a bright imagination, and they can get the same job done.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's like good because I feel like less people might get jobs, but I don't know. That's like still something I'm toying with. But now I can see that, you know, and that is what inspired me to start doing this. It's like, I can do all that. Like all stuff I'm seeing on TV, I'm like, I can do it. And from my own.
That's it. Dude, honestly, bro, I think you're on the right track, bro. Literally, the people that are the most creative, but also the quickest to act are going to win during this season.
And the people who have something to say.
Yeah,
because like you can be creative and put out like a bomb ass graphic, but if it doesn't actually like say anything or like touch anybody, like it just doesn't. So you definitely have to like, and you have that. You have a message. You have something that you want to say, and you're able to put this together and make cool graphics that are moving in the background.
Yeah,
and make it look like a production.
And basically, what you're doing, you're basically hosting a virtual podcast, and that's because everybody is always like, how do I start a podcast? How do I start a podcast? And this is the way you're recording already. You're getting audio, you're getting video. You're literally like building connections during this time, which is super important too. Because like we're gonna remember this too. We're like, yo, like what happened during Corona? Like we hit, like Bugzy hit us up, and we were like, we're able to like just talk, also like get some content out of us, but like also like just like say like, what's up to each other. So like that's gonna be ultimately that's gonna like return like the favor back on you, bro. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Have you guys been using this time? Well, you guys have, but like, is this like? I feel like now you guys are putting a lot more videos on YouTube, right? Like, is that like purposeful? Like,
yeah, we always like realized that our YouTube was a little slacking. That was only because all the client projects that we had, they had to go before anything else, because that's like what paid the bills.
Yeah.
So by the time we would be done with our client projects, we would just be like too tired to even like film anything. So we're like, all right, at least we're good for the month kind of thing. But this was kind of a blessing in disguise, because now we're like, all right, well, all our client projects are pending now. We don't have anything to really edit. So now we really can do like what we want to do. So it's kind of opened up some time for us specifically just to work on like the Dos Cocos Locos aspect of things.
Yeah, and I think ultimately like your YouTube channel also doubles down as a portfolio, right? Because it show people like, look what I can do, look what I have done, look what I do. You know, just like it shows people your capability in a way.
Yeah, it definitely boosts your credibility. Like when you actually have stuff that you put out there into the world.
Yeah, we literally have our first vlog on there. So if you want, you can like literally see all the steps that we took.
Yeah.
It's been pretty crazy, right? But we just like it because sometimes it's easy to forget things, like all the crazy stuff that you've been through. And for us, YouTube is a way to like teach other people, but also to kind of just remember like, yo, we did that stuff. That's pretty crazy. So.
Yo, one thing I like a lot about you guys' YouTube page is first of all, if people are not subscribed, you should definitely subscribe. They have a very dope YouTube page. But one thing that I really do like is you guys put like I forgot the exact name of the playlist, but it was like the educational videos that you guys.
Yes, University.
Yeah,
yeah, yo, like it's funny because I'll scroll through it and I'm like, oh, I know this video. I watched this before.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see like just you know minds think alike. Another thing that I wanted to ask also, just wrapping up, is like I was watching one of your videos and and it looked like you were like I don't know, the way you seemed, it was like, damn, like I should get a job or something like that. Like,
yeah. Oh, we've definitely been there several times.
It's a lot of people they'll talk about the struggle, but it really is like super scary. Like it's super awesome when it's awesome and you're like way up here, but the lows are freaking low, bro.
Yeah.
And you really do have to have like accountability partner. I'm lucky to have my wife here, and she's like keeps me in check, and I keep her in check. It's kind of weird. We're always like yin and yang. Like whenever she's high, like I'm like there's times where I'm high too, but like sometimes when we're like at the extremes, we're always at the opposite ends. But it's nice to just have that because like this is like a long term thing. It's like we're still in the beginning process of things. We're only like in the second year, but the fact that we've already seen some success is cool. But sometimes we have to like remind ourselves like this is gonna take time. Like we're still like nowhere near where what we're capable of. So just take time and just appreciate the good things.
But I feel like you guys have been doing an amazing job so far. You know, I always use you guys as a reference point when I'm trying to explain stuff to people. I'm like, look, I know these people in Tampa. They moved and they did this thing, and they're like, oh, for it. And then I show them their stuff, and they're like, oh, that's cool. So I definitely think that although me and you guys don't talk all the time, and I'm sure other people, you don't talk to everybody else all the time. You guys are definitely like motivation and inspiration of sorts to like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's always nice to hear because, like, sometimes it is rough out here. And, like, that first week of, like, shutdown, we put out a video, the Learning How to Pivot one, and it was just, like, raw. It was what was happening. We were very sad. Like, you could see it in our faces. We're like, damn, what are we going to do? Like, we try to keep it, like, as honest as we can with the good and the bad because it's really easy to just showcase all the good moments and not the bad ones. And I mean, there are bad ones in every business in every life. So, but it's really great to hear that. So thank you. I'm glad that we could be that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely relate to a lot of the stuff, and I think an advantage that you guys have is that you guys are in it together. Like you said, you have an accountability partner. You guys can bounce ideas. But man, I remember times when I was alone in my apartment and I was broke and shit was not going good. And I was just sitting on the floor by myself watching Gary Vee videos, like trying
to get some inspiration. Man, we get there too.
Trust me, I've been there. But okay, so wrapping up, moving forward, how do you guys think the content industry or the video industry is going to change after this? Because I think it will. But what are your guys' opinions?
That's a good question. I think more and more businesses during this time especially are realizing that they need to be digital and that if they're not online, if they're not on social and they're not present like daily, they get left behind.
Yeah, right.
So I think right now is really a time for creatives to be like, offer their services, film things from home, really get in front of those businesses and offer what they can do. I think after this, when businesses can start affording creative, I think that they'll definitely put more money into it because they realize how important it is to be present. Like if you're not on digital, if you're not on social, you quickly can become irrelevant, especially when that's the only source of information that people have right now. Like they can't just see you as they're walking down the street. Like they literally need to just be on your phone.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think this is definitely gonna, put a boost in our stock for the better. And I think a lot of companies now are gonna finally understand the importance of video content and just a presence online. Although I think in-person presence is very important also, but I think you also do need that online presence to kind of it serves as like a quick reminder to people out there, And yeah, man. So I'm definitely interested to see how things play out. I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed that this is over soon. I really hope this doesn't last, super long for all our sake. But yeah, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure, man. So all right, y'all. Thank you, Bugzy Lavoe. We are out.